Seekers. I
want to get on to Medicare in a second.
Yeah, just before you go, you recall that Senator Sarah Hanson Young says, massacre, gulag, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Really outraged. And despite the fact that when people were drowning under the Labor policies that the Greens in part helped pass through, she was asked...
Supported it.
She supported it. They wanted changes, but they basically supported it. When she was asked after yet another drowning under Labor's watch, and let's not forget that many more than 1,000 people drowned as a consequence of Labor's policies, she was asked, do the Greens accept responsibility? And she said, of course not. Tragedies happen, accidents happen. Now, just bear that in mind. Tragedies happen, accidents happen, nothing to do with us, officer, moving right along. There was a similar moment, all right, a bit more elegantly expressed, on the drum yesterday with a Sydney Morning Herald writer, Jacqueline Maley, was asked, well, look, just what I said, 1,000 people died, more than, under Labor policies. Here you are going on about this one person who died in a riot that the detainees started at Manus Island. Where's the perspective here? Have a listen to Jacqueline Maley's response.
People were drowning. People were getting on rickety boats that were overcrowded and they were dying at sea. So
absolutely. I think there's a moral difference. I do think there's a moral difference, and in fact there's a legal difference, because the people who were drowning off those boats, off Christmas Island and so forth, which was horrendous and awful and nobody wanted to see, they were doing that sort of on their own watch, if you like. This is a person who's died and 77 or so people who've been injured who are under our care. That's a strong moral difference to me.
What? They were doing that sort of on their own watch. So there's a moral difference, and the difference is this is terrible. One person died, but the others, the 1,000 people who drowned, well, that was sort of on their own watch, if you like.
It wasn't on their own watch, if you like. It was largely, often in our territorial waters, caused by the policies of the government of the day.
Yes, exactly. Yes, they did get on the boats themselves. Absolutely true. But the policies clearly lured them over, and the government was warned it was going to do that. It was warned when it was happening, and they later conceded that the policies, Chris Bowen, then Immigration Minister, conceded the policies had to change because it was happening. There's a direct moral responsibility, like if you saw a guy selling loaded machine guns to children and to bikies, you'd say that's morally irresponsible. You, to some extent, are morally to blame for the mayhem that will follow. Or if you see a guy, a publican, pouring drinks down a drunk's throat and then pushing him into his car, to go driving away, you say, mate, you bear some responsibility for the car crash that follows. Same here. Now, in this case, what's the difference? The guy in Manus Island chose to leave the detention centre we'd put him in. They were, or he was in a riot at the gates or fences which were pulled down.
He put himself in a dangerous position.
He put himself in a dangerous position. What's the difference? He put himself in a dangerous position there. The 1,000 who died put themselves in a dangerous position over there. The only
Ms.
difference
Maley
is,
seems to be trying to suggest it's because at the camp they were under our watch.
Well, if they chose to remove themselves from under our watch.
Yeah, if they'd laid in the bunk.
Yes.
Reading a book.
That's
or ringing their uncle in Adelaide on the phone.
No danger.
No danger.
It's a choice he made, just like it was a choice people made to get into the boat. So really, no, there is no moral difference there.
Paul.
I think it's really an evasion of the facts.
Paul, hello.
Yeah, gentlemen, listen to me. This has one simple question which resolves everything to do with the government's duty of care, the behaviour of the Manus Island citizens and police, and the culpability or not of the detainees. You've seen the footage. Were the fences pushed out or were the fences pushed in?
I can't.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I'm told they were pushed over, but I don't know.
Okay, well, I think that...
Well, can you tell?
Well, I believe from what I saw, the brief, the chain link fence was pushed out. If the fence was pushed out, the government, I believe, has a duty of care while they're there. If a person then violently and forcefully exits that duty of care, what happens next is kind of not the responsibility of the government.
Well, I would have thought so too. It's like a prisoner escaping from prison and running pell-mell down the street. The policeman chases him, tackles him, and he hits his head. the policeman, breached his duty of care by injuring the guy? I don't think so.
Thank you, Paul. The PNG newspaper, The National, is reporting that the asylum seekers in detention submitted a list of 14 questions about their welfare and future to the Australian authorities before the violence erupted on Sunday and Monday. The questions asked about their status, when they would be released, where they would be resettled, why the media are banned from detention centres, and a plea for mental health support. So the uprising has presumably resulted as a result of the answers to those questions. As you said, they want to be told yes, but they're being told no.
That's right.
So the spark that lit the fire came in the answer to those questions, which were consistent answers as they've been all along, and they didn't like what they heard, so they said, right, oh, bugger that, we're going to cause some trouble.
As far as I recall,
smart to work that out, do you?
I recall the government telling me, I think even Scott Morrison, the immigration minister, was saying that early on, when the detainees arrive at Manus Island, they're told they're not going to Australia.
Yeah.
Where's the area of doubt there?
We've been advertising that fact in Indonesia.
Well, that's right. I mean,
we've been spending money
you will not get
in
there.
Villages in Lebanon telling people you can't come here.
Yes.
131873 is our number. I'm going to take some calls on the Medicare debate. Do you have a view on whether...